And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the Pup back here for the first time, and the Pup comes out for Apex cards, I decided. And look at that. We're back in the Apex. And the headliner, Nassourdine Imavov, Nassourdine Imavov. Let me try to talk versus Roman Dolidze. That's a decent fight, I guess. I don't know if it's a main event, but yeah. Then there's just a lot of really really close fights, so I think that will make for an interesting discussion. We're always very transparent when we're making our kind of determinations and everything with how close the fight is. But before we start, with me to start, maybe the line mover of MMA variety is going to join us. We'll see. It's all good. But with me to start, as always, just my 2 cents. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you as always for having me. I'm very excited to be here with you this evening, dude. I'm loving these nighttime shows. And yeah, man, we got a fight card, all right. So I'm here to break it down and give my my awesome picks and have a few laughs and yeah, dude, break down this whole UFC Vegas 85.
Yep, UFC Vegas 85 starting out. We're starting on the heavyweight division. So nowhere to go but up from here. Jamal Pogues once again opening up a UFC card because Jamal Pogues opens up UFC cards. That's what he does. Funny enough, Mick Parkin is pretty sure is now main eventing a fight coming up, main eventing a fight card, and he opened up a card against Jamal Pogues. I did send you the link, brother, but I'll send it to you again. I swear I did. But anyways, yeah, I did send him the link 20 minutes ago. But all right, I sent it in both places now, so you should be able to see it. But I sent you a link 20 minutes ago. Anyways, Thomas Peterson, Jamal Pogues. This is a fight I don't want much to do with. I'll be honest with you. Jamal Pogues. One thing I don't like about Jamal Pogues is that he used to fight some fights at light heavyweight, some fights at what up?
What's good? I'm already in here.
Yeah, we just started.
Go for it, brother. Sorry.
No, you're good. So one thing I don't like about Jamal Pogues is when a heavyweight is at 266 and they fought several fights at light heavyweight as well. And I just think that's kind of a lack of discipline. It doesn't need to be 266. And he ends up not being faster than a guy like Mick Parkin, for example, in his last fight. Like Mick Parkin was so much quicker than him. And it's just like Pogues doesn't put together volume much. He has a good jab, but he doesn't use it nearly enough. Doesn't throw enough kicks, especially to the legs. And Thomas Peterson isn't going to really care about any of that anyways. He's going to be running through him for double legs and taking him down. I think he's going to take him down till he ground pounds him out, and I think that could happen pretty quickly. So I do think Thomas Peterson has a very limited potential. I do think he'll get cracked sooner rather than later, but I think Jamal Pogues is about as safe of a matchup as Thomas Peterson can have in this first fight here. So I'm not looking to bet many of the favorites on this card, and this is definitely not a favorite I'm looking to get behind, but for my pick, I got Thomas Peterson by ground and pound. 2 cents.
Well, we have just an awesome fucking fight to kick this thing off. So I don't care too much about this from a betting point of view. In fact, I don't care at all. And I care so little to think about who is going to win this fight that I actually have a coin in my hand and I'm going to flip it. And this is not going to be nearly the last time I'm going to flip it because I just don't give a fuck about this fight. And so I will not waste y'all's time with any like nuanced breakdown. I think this is about as low level as it gets. And I just don't fucking know or care. So here we'll say, because Pogues has been there, Bill, I'll say Pogues' heads and Peterson is tails. Here we go.
All right.
The coin will speak. And the pick is tails, Thomas Peterson. Let's go. That's my pick.
Excellent. That's how we like to see it. All right. Mr. It's going to take me a while to.
JB is cool.
JB, yeah, I don't want to disrespect your brand, but yeah, you're JB.
What's up, Pimp? We're back. Yeah, my man, you said shitty fight, but if you listen to Jamal Pogue's interview, just my 2 cents, he's coming for John Jones. And when he gets to that title shot, he's going to take him out. It's like, nah. I don't know if anybody saw that interview with Pogues, though. No. He's like, if I get to the title and John Jones is there, I'm going to beat him. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I probably ain't going to wind up betting this fight, but I am worried, like, if Peterson does gas out, he's been finished by Waldo Cortez. His level of comp is kind of shitty. If this, like, Pogues, I've seen him submit a guy off his back in film. Obviously, like you said, he's changed weight classes. But that's interesting for a guy at heavyweight. I don't expect him to necessarily do that here. Thing is, like, what if he could survive on the ground? Like, a lot of these guys are bums. If he could survive on the ground, I just don't know what this dude's cardio is going to look like.
Pogues I'll tell you right now, it'll look terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And Pogues isn't necessarily a finisher, but I think he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder in this one. So I have to go dog or pass on this one. I'm not like a heavy read. I just think if like Peterson winds up on his back, he might look like a turtle on a shell. Like it might be over. So Pogue's submission's taking some early action. I'm not gonna probably wind up betting it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, this is a pass for me, dude. Pogues, he could put it together, but he's just one of those people, like, in his last fight, I bet him as a favorite. I wasn't happy with the outcome.
I bet him as well.
And he looks so out of shape, man. If he could just come into this fight a little bit better, I'll be willing to bet him, but I got to see it first. Like, I already parted way with my money with this fucking bum one time.
I'm not a big wait for the weigh-ins and then possibly bet a dog, but if he comes in at like the 245 range, 250 even, like that would show me he's taking this a little more seriously. 266 for this guy, and then you look at him in that last fight, he shouldn't have been 266. And
dude, I'm glad I'm not the only one that lost money on fucking Jamal Pogues, because that was I felt like that was one of my most embarrassing bets last year, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that ate shit on it. But yes,
no, I got him at minus 150 last time. Now he's at plus 140 against the new Thomas Peterson, who again, the one guy he faced, Waldo Cortez, he did have nearly finished there in that fight, but he didn't finish him and then fell off of a cliff. And I think that could kind of be an MO for Thomas Peterson moving forward. So, 228-year-old heavyweight. So it is young guys at heavyweight. But so, all right, next fight. I think this is a really interesting fight, really close fight. And Marquel Medeiros taking on Landon Quinones. I think this has all the potential in the world to be in the fight of the night type of candidate here. I think both guys are going to go in and throw down. I don't think it's going to be the most technical of fights, but I do think Medeiros has the power. I think Landon is a little more of the well-rounded BMF, better MMA fighter. And I do think that, Marquel had that really impressive finish on the Contender Series. He's had a few impressive finishes. Also, kind of got out MMA'd in a fight in Fury, which he did end up losing. I think that Landon Quinones has improved a lot. I like him as a dog in this fight, but I do know there's a lot of love on Medeiros coming into this. So I got Landon. I actually do think this fight goes later, possibly the distance. So I'll take Landon by decision. But what's your thoughts on this one, JB?
Yeah, man, I think Landon's interesting prospect. He kind of shit the bed on Ultimate Fighter, so I don't know really what to make out of that. But my worry would be like if this guy like gets wrapped up in a submission, it could be over, dude. And I watched a fight. I don't want to butcher the name. It was against one of his opponents in 2022, I want to say, and he got rocked. And it might have been the one before that, but he gets rocked. And the dude almost jumps on his neck. If he had any instinct to jump on the neck, he could have did it.
I think it's
Uh,
fight, the dude that dropped him that he ended up finishing. Is that the one you're talking about? Where he gets cracked and then he comes back and ends up like knocking the guy out or something.
I think it is that fight, but I don't want to say the wrong name. I have to look it up, and I don't have Tapology on my phone. Oh, here we go. I'll find it right now as I'm looking, but I'm gonna keep talking about the fight. It was the fight versus Michael Murphy that I saw with Medeiros, and I like his cage wrestling. It's kind of a work in progress, but I think he's at a good camp. Like this dude's at Factory X, which is, in my opinion, a better camp than like Sunrise, wherever this guy's at. He's training with like Kenley St. Louis, bro, and I just don't trust in that, and I'm not trying to knock on the guy, but like I just don't know how many good training partners he has down there, what he's working on. He seems to be a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Like I looked at the guy's post and he put like like a rare sighting. Obviously he was in the gi, he probably meant in the gi, but I just don't know how this guy's jiu-jitsu is, and we've seen the one time that he was put on the ground in a suspect position. Jason Knight put the hands on him. He was forced to shoot a takedown, and then this dude's wrapped up in a triangle within 2 seconds. I just think I could see the same thing here with Medeiros trying to get this to the cage. He's good at getting to that, like basically almost a double under control. Even if his opponents have the wrist position, he'll fight it back, get to the double unders, and then he's good at like if you're leaning too far forward, he's going to put you forward. If you're straight up, he's going to look to reap that inside leg, and he's pretty methodical with it. The one thing that he does very well, too, is he'll place himself in between the cage and his opponent, not giving them the chance to get back to their feet and build their base, which is a common way we see done in MMA. It's almost like the cookie cutter way to build back up to the fence. Medeiros does a good job there. Coming from a BJJ gym, I think, in the striking, it could look pretty close for a round or two. I'm going to give Medeiros the cardio advantage, in my opinion. I'm not saying Kinona's cardio is bad, but he did kind of slow down in the Nasrat fight. 4 days notice. I don't want to knock him, but he butchered his leg right away, and I don't know if he's going to have the same success with Medeiros here. I'll go with Medeiros, long story short, but I don't want to get involved at a money line standpoint. I might look toward the props, just maybe like an inside the distance guy. I think he could hurt him on the feet or put this guy on the ground and dominate him there.
Fair enough. Well done. Well said. 2 cents.
This is I actually didn't know much about either fighter. I just knew Quinones from the Nasrat fight, so I actually had to tape this, and I was taping it right before this show started, actually. I didn't watch a ton of tape on either guy, but I was not super duper impressed with the Medeiros tape that I watched. And my bad, I was looking at Quinones's Tapology when that dude that I mentioned. Quinones actually got dropped by that dude, Acevedo guy. He got dropped by him and ended up coming back and finishing him. But one of the fights I did watch was the Tracy Reeder fight, and he ended up winning that fight. But dude, what I didn't like was it was clear like a minute or two into it that he was the better fighter, and he did a lot of just like he's kind of a poser, man. Like he's not, and I don't mean like a faker, but like he stands and poses and like he almost like over feints, and he really played with his food there. And I guess my point is I feel like Quinones is more aggressive, and I'm going to push back a little bit, and I'm going to say that Quinones actually hits a little bit harder too. I just was not impressed with him in that Reeder fight, and I watched the amateur fight where he got knocked out, and I know that happened a long time ago, so I'm not putting like a ton of stock into that, but the tape that I did watch on both of them, my takeaway was that I think Quinones, striking anyways, I think he's a little bit more powerful of a hammer, and he's a little bit more durable of a nail. So I'm actually going to pick Quinones here. On the ground, I think that the artist formerly known as JB, the mover of MMA lines, I think he's right. I think he does have overall the ground advantage. But one thing I did notice too was that Medeiros kind of like gets wrapped up. Like he gets like dudes get around to his back and get the body lock on him. And I've seen Quinones do that in a couple fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if like the grappling went back and forth a little bit, but ultimately, dude, like I'm gonna pick Quinones, but no action for me. Like I just kind of want to see what I got from both these dudes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. If you don't mind, it was the guy I was talking about wasn't that guy. It was the guy before that. It was in 2020. So around the time that amateur fight was like close to happening, like this dude was an amateur while this guy was in the pros. We got to remember that as well. He fought like Naimov, went to a split decision with him. But yeah, it was the Garabelt Castillo fight. That's the one I was talking about. And yeah, he did get body triangled by Michael Murphy too. I did see that one. Yeah, it's an interesting fight, man. I'll probably stay away, but it was the guy before that. So if he got dropped in both those fights, that's the only thing that worries about me with Kinon is.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Plus 114 for Quinones right now, minus 135 to Marquel Medeiros. So good fight. I think has potential to be a fight of the night on a card like this, to be honest. Julia Stolyarenko, Luana Carolina. This fight going to be fought at probably 132 pounds or something once they agree to catch weight or maybe just bantamweight like they did last week. Who knows? Stolyarenko has I think a round or so to get it done with the grappling. After that, I think she kind of falls off a cliff, both game plan and cardio wise. I do think that if Carolina's takedown defense is there on the feet, I think this is nearly as wide as it is on the ground, but I just think that Julia's going to find a way to get this girl down to the ground. It's a square play, but I got Julia Stolyarenko by submission. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, dude, this is so fucking greasy, boys. I said that the coin would be heard from, and it's going to be heard from again right now. The coin will speak. I'm gonna give, like you said, it's a striker versus grappler. Luana, I think, is a much better striker, to your point, and Stenko is like Luana's gonna get fucking armbarred if she has her way and gets her like judo shit going in the in certain positions, like she's just gonna submit her. So here we go. I will say that Julia Stolyarenko is heads and Luana Carolina is tails. Here we go. The coin will speak. We got tails. We are going with who did I say it was? We're going with Carolina.
Well said. Well said. I can't argue with that. That's just gravity. JB, what's your thoughts on this one?
I hope that coin's lucky, my man. But we're about to make this a little fun, bro. I do think Stolyarenko probably submits her, probably early. Could win a decision as well. This fight could go to I see a lot of level no under 2.5. I'm gonna get greasy here, man. Because Stolyarenko, we've seen her make some fucking awful weight cuts. We've seen her absolutely fucking gas off of a cliff. And I like to fucking target shit like this, man, because, you know, Luana's not aggressive on the feet, but if I get a fighter that their like MO is I want to grapple, and the other person's just like fucking sprawling and they're fucking them up on the feet, and Stolyarenko just keeps shooting and shooting, like this bitch got submitted by fucking Julia Avila. Does Julia Avila have another career submission? I fucking highly doubt it.
Yeah.
So you can't. Yeah, I don't think so. So you can't say Luana Carolina, like, she can't fucking do it. She fucking just gets her long ass fucking arms around her neck, swings her fucking dreads, and just chokes the shit out of her.
That's
imagine she's like,
what? That's so gross.
So imagine she like chokes her and just like swings her dreads and sticks her tongue out. Nah, so I'm gonna go with just like a sprinkle, bro. Obviously, we're not going big on this. Like Luana Carolina, round 3 submission. She has like 5 submission attempts in the UFC. None of them fucking worked. But maybe this one will, because Stolyarenko is gonna be fucking dead on the floor in round 3 if she makes it there at 125. Who knows how her fucking cardio will be? It might be better. Might be.
Might not. Also, another
$5 on the plus 6,000, baby. Let's go.
I love it. Plus 114 to Luana Stolyarenko at minus 135. God, that is such a gross fight. All right, next fight. Now, a fight. This is one of the kind of I don't know fights on the card for me, if I'm being honest with you. Blake Bilder versus Yong Lee, the Korean Tiger. Yong Lee don't like that cage pressure much at all. He likes having space to work and throw his strikes, and you're not supposed to grapple. Like, don't grab my legs and put me against the cage. And you're gonna go for it again? No, please stop. And somehow wins a decision against a guy he shouldn't have won a decision against. To be honest with you, here, I'm not. I get it. Blake Bilder isn't this Division I wrestler. I understand that. I think you just have to make that part of the game here against Lee. Period. It's so clear after the last fight, which he lost to a guy who shouldn't have been really in the UFC. So, I mean, Lee's just been very untested early on, getting a lot of early finishes, probably a reflection of the kind of level of talent he's going against there. Yong Lee is not going to be in the Zhang Li parlay this week. Sorry, guys.
No.
Blake Bilder for me.
The name is so close.
Blake Bilder by a decision here for me. I think the blueprint is there, and I don't see Lee massively improving that aspect. So if it's not an early finish by Lee, I think he gets kind of worked by Blake Bilder here, who, Bilder's an older featherweight anyways at this point, but I think he's got more than enough in him to bust out the wrestling shoes a little bit here and make it uncomfortable for Lee and win a decision. Very lackluster, probably. So I got Bilder. JB.
Yeah, I think if Yazzie was to fight Blake Bilder, I think he'd fucking wash him, bro. I think he'd put him on his back, and there wouldn't be a fucking thing Blake Bilder could do about it. That guy Yazzie was relentless. He shot 21 takedowns, bro. There is not a fucking world in any world where Blake Bilder is shooting 21 takedowns and isn't fucking dead in the middle of the octagon gasping for air. I watched this fight with Carvalho, I think it was. Dropped fucking 3 times, bro. I actually think this dude's takedown defense is pretty good. He uses like K guard to get back to his feet. He did hit an illegal up kick though. Like, that was pretty fucking whack. And like, if I had bet against him, I would understand that. And like, him like being in such a controversial last fight, I would see like why people want to bet him. But if it was a split decision the other way, I still might bet this dude, just because maybe it's just because I'm not a believer in Blake Bilder, honestly. I think the guy's slow. I think he's old. I think they're doing Road to UFC the day after this. Like, why not just give it a little bit promotion, get this guy a win? Under 2.5 is like minus 115. I think Jong KO is plus 200. That's pretty like low, if you want to ask me. Like, they're saying like he probably is going to finish him. Yep. Which is alluding to what you're saying as well. Like, you're just worried if it goes later, but man, I thought he fought through that fight well, and it was just such a high pace. I think here he's going to be able to get the better of Bilder on the feet, and just watching like Instagram videos, this dude Blake Bilder's like trying flying back takes and shit. I know it's just training videos, bro, but like, I don't like to see that when I'm looking at this guy's Instagram and he's working, cutting off the cage, the shit that he didn't do well in his last fight. I think he wasn't expecting Yazzie to come with that kind of pressure, bro. Like, this dude was hitting double legs like time and time. He wouldn't stop. I don't see that at a Blake Bilder. He's kind of moving around. Like, if you lost to Kyle Nelson, bro, I think Lee's gonna fuck you up, man. He's a little bit quicker, younger, and I think he's gonna be able to avoid the grapple game here. So I got a 2.5 unit play on Lee. I got it earlier in the week at minus 132. He's minus 142 now. That's a market mover right there. Certified, baby. Let's go.
All right. I got no money on Bilder right now, so I'm all for you winning your bet there.
Nah, I appreciate it. He won't be in the Zhang Li, but in our hearts,
yeah,
he is Zhang Li.
Yeah. Zhang Li is not in the Zhang Li, but in our hearts, indeed. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this grease fire?
He tells the lines to move, and by God, if they don't do it. Damnedest thing I've ever seen, boys. Well, I think we're just going to keep this thing going. I think I need to hear from the coin because, I'll be damned if I put any kind of confidence in Blake Builder. But I ain't going to put no confidence in this young Jong Lee either, dude. I don't know, man. I'm not Yazi's a good wrestler, but he's gotten knocked out and finished by some fucking jabronis too. And you want to talk about crushing some motherfucking cans, Bubba, he's doing it. I don't like either one of these guys long term. I think they're both cruising for a fucking bruising at any kind of decent level in the UFC. So yeah, we will hear from the coin. The coin will speak. What we can do this time. I think I'm going to say because Blake Builder has the experience, I'm going to give Builder a head, and I'm going to give Jong, Lee, Young, whatever. He will be tails. So here we go. Tails. I'm going to go with Jong, Lee, Young.
Let's go, baby. Road to UFC. Road to UFC squad.
Yep. Plus 120 on Blake the Builder right now. The Korean Tiger at minus 142. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a
Bing bong ping pow.
Next fight. This is just, I think, one of the stranger fights on the card, if I'm being honest here. Themba Gorimbo taking on Pete Rodriguez. Yeah, man. I don't know. We're gonna see probably Themba Gorimbo come out and shoot for a takedown within 30 seconds or so of this fight. And I don't really know what to think of Pete Rodriguez at this point. I'm not sure if he should be in the UFC. I do think that he'll probably be exposed within the grappling in this fight, and I feel like Themba Gorimbo sub round 2 might get a play from me. So I got Themba Gorimbo in this spot. I do think that his chin, sometimes can be touched, and that's where Pete Rodriguez has the best chance in this fight, but he'll be at a reach disadvantage, and I think he'll be on the ground before that's much of a problem. So Themba Gorimbo, round 2 submission. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like looking at this fight coming into the show. I was like, man, I know I'm gonna be flipping the coin a lot because I don't want to fucking put too much effort into like these fights that I don't care too much about that I know I'm not betting. This one I'm actually excited to watch though. Like, it's a dumpster fire. It's not a dumpster fire. A dumpster fire, like a dumpster is municipal, and you're talking about like, city services and stuff. Like, this is a fucking like when homeless people get cold, this is how they keep warm. They take an oil drum and they light a fire, and that's what this is going to be. But I tell you what, dude, I'm interested in.
Wait. Was that a diss on Themba Gorimbo?
No, this is a diss on the level of this fight. This is such a greasy fucking vagrant alley fire, and people are going to be at each other's throats over this one. This is so low level, dude. Like, I think it's definitely striker versus grappler. And I think that each one is kind of like set up for the other to like look like this fight is going to go one of two ways. If it goes the distance, it's going to be it might be as bad as like if Peterson Pogue goes the distance. But we know what's probably going to happen, dude. Either is what Aaron said, like Themba's going to get Rodriguez to the ground, or he's just going to fucking front choke him or something, or like Rodriguez is gonna fucking like Shang Tsung your soul is fucking mine, like separate Themba's soul from his body. And I just don't know what's gonna happen because I don't think either of them are very good. But the more I think about it, man, I'm gonna pick Themba. I don't know, against my better judgment. Like my first gut instinct was that Rodriguez was gonna knock him out, but like looking back at it, man, Rodriguez he been can crushing too, and like Mike Jackson is one of the worst fighters that's ever been in the UFC. And I don't know, man. I think Themba, like Sato fucking hits really hard too, man. And he was able to survive that and get it done. I don't know, man. I think Rodriguez is not long for this promotion. So yeah, give me Themba, probably by a fishbowl submission. Shout out Big Moise.
Yes, sir. JB.
Yeah, I'm having fun so far, man. Maybe not getting like all the points I want out. I'm running on like a 2 hours of sleep right now. Been film studying crazy,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty fried. So I'm gonna keep this one short, sweet, bro. I think this is a fucking layup, bro. I think Themba Gorimbo is gonna absolutely fucking dog Pete Rodriguez, submit him in round 2, just like my man Aaron the dog said. That's a play, official play. Themba Gorimbo, round 2 sub. Bang.
Yeah, a lot of love for Pete Rodriguez in the chat. Mr. Furio coming through. Shout out to Furio.
Yo, I get it. Like, the dude's likable, bro. Like, if he won this fight, like, everyone's like, oh, they want to push Themba. And I think that's the truth, bro. And I don't know if you got it before, like, when you said the homelessness shit. That's why I said, is it a joke against Themba?
Oh no, dude, bro, that's been my my gimmick is like when it's a shitty low level fight, it's like a bum's alley fire, dude. But nah, man, like yeah, no, of course it's Themba's one shining moment for sure. They're definitely he's got the narrative on his side for sure.
Right, bro. And I just think this is like they're giving him short notice for Pete Rodriguez. There's a few of those fights like that. Like, we just don't know with Pete Rodriguez, bro. We just don't know. And I'm just willing to say that the UFC knows what they're doing here. And Themba's going to get the submission. But I do like the round 2. I think it takes a little while. I think Pete defends for a little bit. Themba eventually gets to his positions.
Yep.
Bang. But I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. Minus 258 money line right now on Mr. Gorimbo, one of the bigger favorites on the card, plus 210 on Pete Rodriguez. So.
And see, that's just crazy. It's like that's where you're asking for it. If you're just putting that money, if you're just like parlaying Themba, it's like it feels like Rodriguez are passed from betting unless you're like feel super duper confident in the sub. Which actually, like the more I think about it, it's like that's very A to B. It's like direct path to victory. So yeah. I don't know, man.
Yep, I agree, but I still do like Themba in this one. The over 1.5 is at plus 105. I think that's an interesting possible play as well there. But yeah, next fight. All right, Charles Johnson versus Azad Maxim. I think that I wasn't impressed at all with Azad in his debut. I thought it was pretty lackluster. Kind of started to fall off as the fight went. And I don't know. He just didn't look like maybe some jitters or maybe a level of competition increase and having trouble with it. That was against a 39-year-old Tyson Nam. Now going against Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson still, I think, in his decent athletic prime here at flyweight, but he's getting at the tail end of it at 33 years old. Let's be honest. He's going to be the longer of the two fighters, more diverse with the striking. Azad, I do see going to, resort to the takedowns a little more here, but if you can't get him going, this is going to be an extremely close fight, I think. So I don't really understand all of the love for Azad in this position. I think Charles Johnson's going to come out very, very desperate. And I think he can make this a fight, man. So I don't know. I mean, if I had to bet one of these money lines, I'm betting Charles Johnson line, honestly. I think it's going to be very, very close. I think it probably goes the distance. Yeah, fuck it. I'll go Charles Johnson by decision. JB.
Yeah, what in the fuck is Charles Johnson doing at a plus 185 price right now? That is absolutely fucking absurd. Yeah, man, I'll be on the Charles Johnson side. I think this is a lot more equal than the line is indicating right now. Maxim, if you look back at his record, he's fought nothing but, cans. Sure, he's gotten the job done against them, but we know the market overrates these undefeated fighters. And, I think this is one of those instances, especially a guy coming off a few losses, was sick in the Ode Osborne fight. And then the other ones, were stylistically bad matchups for him. I don't think this is. I think this guy's going to have trouble pressuring forward. I think Johnson's going to be where he's going to be able to stay at range, working a little bit in Philly at Marquez MMA as well. I like to see that. You know, if Maxim does try to grapple, I think Johnson does the right things to get back to his feet here, reset it, and I think he outlands him. Like you said, I think it is a close fight. But what in the F is Charles Johnson doing at plus 185 here? I called it last week with Sean Woodson, and I'm saying it again right here. Yeah, I'm betting Charles Johnson 2 units. I think he stays long at range, teeps, and he's fighting for his job. We've seen time and time again last year, bro. Like, these dudes are fighting for their job, coming out crazy and getting these wins. So I'm still a believer in the Charles Johnson train. I know he's failed people time and time again, but he's going to get my money this time.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well said. 2 cents.
Yeah, I don't want to add too much. I guess it does feel like Johnson or pass. I was looking at all these lines, like betting lines, and that's kind of been like my mantra this year is like, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to look at the lines and just do what feels right. And I'm looking over it and I'm like, the whole card really just feels like a lot of dog or pass situations. And I was looking at like Azad being one of the favorites that I could maybe like try and stick in a parlay. I'm going to pick Azad. And I don't want anything to do with this fight, though. And I just really am going to avoid putting like anything on Maxim because like I agree with everything else said. Like I think Johnson is the better striker. The level of competition, like that's not even a question. But I think it is a level of competition versus like a stylistic matchup because I do think he does have the stylistic matchup to beat Johnson. Yes, the guys Johnson are losing to are way like higher of a level, way more proven than Azad. But they're still beating him by landing like multiple takedowns and out grappling him. And I think that Azad can potentially do that. But dude, I'm not laying anything on that minus 250, minus 200, whatever the fuck it is, because I just don't trust the guy. He's like I said, he's a can crusher. And Johnson is, probably the best fighter he's fought so far and one of the most dangerous strikers. And I don't want anything to do with it. I'm kind of just going to sit back and watch what happens. I'll pick Azad though, because I'm too pussy to bet Johnson, but best of luck, boys. And I think it's Johnson or pass for sure.
All right. Well said. And you might be forced to bet Johnson because I'm constructing the Zhang Li as we're going along in this breakdown.
Oh, me tailing the Zhang Li just goes without saying. So if I bet Johnson, I'll just say.
I'm just saying it's few and far between fights.
Dude, I don't blame you at all. He feels like a fucking super live dog.
Yeah, so plus 180 he juices up that Zhang Li quite nicely because I do have a couple decent favorites on the card, and one of those decent favorites I do have is Molly McCann. She is taking on Diana Belita in the rematch we've all been waiting for. With this one, Diana using the R word quite a bit, talking about how she's going to retire before this fight, thinking about retiring, all this shit. I don't like hearing the R word around fighters, especially when they are 27 years old. It's kind of a little bit concerning here. Sorry, lost to Molly. Molly's better now. Molly's in better shape now. I think Molly shows off those grappling chops, and I like the round 3 submission because Molly's going to come in phenomenal shape for this fight. I think she's going to outpace, outwork, and put away Diana Belita, show off that Polaris grappling experience in the octagon here. So give me Molly McCann, round 3 submission, sprinkled. 2 cents.
Yeah, I like Molly quite a bit. Now she is one of the favorites that like I would feel comfortable putting in a parlay. I think, dude, the first fight she took her down 5 fucking times. I don't see any reason why she won't have like that success or more, like you were saying in the grappling. I think she hits harder on the feet, and I just think she's a better striker in general. So yeah, Molly McCann all day. And is Belita the one that does the cosplay? Is she the cosplay chick?
No, I think that's
the
Viviana.
Yeah, okay.
That was last week.
I don't want to speak out of turn with low level.
The chick who got beat up by G.
Yeah, I keep getting these like lower level chicks that are kind of like cute but like evil looking. I don't know, but so yeah, give me Molly. I think she's probably gonna whoop her ass, and yeah, I don't think that sub is a bad look either. But give me McCann.
Yeah, she's one of the few favorites I feel is the clear favorite, but unfortunately she's like minus 265 right now or something.
Right.
No, yeah, that sucks. Plus 215 on Belita. I get it if you're just doing the principle of the low MMA plus 200
For sure. It's like I don't, it's not great, but it's like I don't know. I almost feel like it could be more than that. Honestly, I feel like if Molly minus 350, I wouldn't play it, but like that would be crazy to me either.
Right, and that's the featured prelim, by the way, everybody. Yeah, and our first fight on the main card.
Yo, bro.
Oh,
hold up. Wait. No, you're good.
Go ahead.
You're good. This fight, I'm gonna agree with you guys on. But I like the round 3 sub, but I like the sub just in general because I think she could get it done in round 1. One and done on this girl. You said the R word, retired. Actually, Molly, like 2 fights ago, was talking about the same thing. But like you said, dropping down to 115, watch any of the interviews. She looks super motivated, looks in great shape. So I do think it could get done in round 3. But I love the sub. The meatball sub is looking real scrumptious right now. It's looking real scrumptious on the board. I'm seeing a plus 650. I'm sure we'll get some better lines sooner than later. But yeah, I'm liking that all day with you. I'm on that as well. And I think, Belita, after this one, she might just retire, bro. Like, she could do anything else. Like, she's a good-looking girl. Might see her on OnlyFans. So, yeah, I'm going with Meatball. Meatball by sub. She hasn't gotten one yet. I think this is the first career one. Coming off the Polaris win where I did watch that one. She got the armbar from guard. Bro, I could see her hitting that on Belita. This bitch has been subbed way too many times in her career. All day. Give me that money.
Yeah, my bad there, JB.
Fuck it. It's all good, brother. I had to go.
Yeah. So the feature prelim, Molly McCann and Diana Belita. Our first fight on the main card of a UFC card in 2024. Gilbert, Urena, Charles Radke. Whew, boy. So I'm not sure if either one really belongs in the UFC at all. And it's like the rest of this card where if you're on the dog, I get it, man. Because I do think Charles Radke could kind of rat this fight out, start to carry it, into the, later rounds, go into deeper water. I do question Gilbert Urena, a bit of his gas tank as fights go, honestly. And just overall, how good Gilbert Urena is. Charles Radke has been in there with, I think, the much, much better level of competition. And, this isn't a fight I'm super confident on, but it's another one where I think this is like my 4th or 5th dog on the card, honestly. I got Charles Radke. I think he rats him out to a decision. I see a lot of love for Gilbert Urena this week. Congratulations to everybody finding that love for either one of these fighters that deeply. But I got Radke by rat decision. Line.
Yeah, I used to move lines. Now I move lines. Let's go, baby. I just got a bet on Chuck Buffalo. I think this guy has better stand-up, man. I'm just saying right now. I think he could find the connection. He was landing on Mike Mateta, Blood Diamond, rocked him a few times in their fight. And I know people aren't high on the level of Blood Diamond, but I'm not high on the level of Gilbert Urena, man. This guy's an Ultimate Fighter reject. He's still young, but I don't know, man. I think this line's a little bit off. I haven't bet on it yet. Probably not going to be a bet for me. But I don't know, man. I think the value's on Chuck Buffalo. And if the line gets any wider, if Urena comes to be a minus 250 favorite dog, I think I'm getting in on Chuck Buffalo, man. I think he has the skills. He trains with the right people anyway. Just not a big believer in Urena whatsoever.
Yeah, I completely agree. 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, dude, y'all are probably right. Like, he's probably the better fighter, and Urena is not. His ceiling is super duper low, but I just don't like Chuck Buffalo. I don't like him. So I'm gonna pick Urena out of spite. I want nothing to do with this fight. I think it's dogger pass, but nah, I don't like him, and he probably will rat his way to victory. But if it costs me a Tapology pick, that's fine. But on principalities, I ain't picking no fucking Chuck Buffalo. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll take Urena, but yeah, no action here. Greasy grease fire, boys.
Yeah, just like most of this card. And yeah, it's just at this point, it's like Charles Radke is, what is he, plus 170, minus 205.
Like Urena isn't good, but he's better than Blood Diamond. Fucking sucks. I'm sorry,
For
that's
sure.
a fucking hype job. Like, he's a little bit better and more well-rounded than Blood Diamond, but that ain't saying much either. Like, Urena ain't good. I see the Chuck Buffalo side, and it almost feels like the line should be flipped, and I would like be more interested in Urena if he was an underdog. But I can't fucking lay chalk on Gilbert Urena. No way, dude. But yeah, gross.
Yo, honestly, with how greasy this card is, like, you might just see me betting round 3 props. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of unknown cardio on this card, and
that means I'll try a lot of just terrible decisions.
Yeah, or sloppy finishes. That's, it's one or the other.
No, but at the Apex, you see this in fights a lot where, like, that adrenaline kind of wears off alone. They just start to kind of spar towards the end of the fight, and there's no crowd there. So I don't know. This is the most Apex fight ever, honestly. So it's perfect to be on the main card. Next, Khizriev versus Magomedov. This is kind of another fight where it's like we kind of expect Khizriev to kind of just out MMA Magomedov, eventually kind of wear him down and get his back and choke him out. He's been pretty inactive over the last few years. That's one of my kind of concerns here. Magomedov not finishing Barberena in the last fight sucks. It's not great for me. But at the same point, Magomedov really, highly, highly skilled on the feet and very dangerous there. And I do think he can buzz Khizriev and get him out of there. I also think Khizriev, but Khizriev's takedowns just haven't impressed me. They really don't. So it's like how he gets to the spot he needs to, I think, win this fight, which is on the ground, I think is pretty sketchy. So I don't know. I've been back and forth on this fight. I'm not betting it anyways, but I'm going to say Khizriev gets it down and finds the back and gets a submission, but it would not surprise me if Magomedov is able to kind of defend the first few takedowns and cruise to a decision or knock him out and not get a knockout himself. So Khizriev, I don't feel good about it. I don't remember who goes 2 cents.
I think it's me. I'll go ahead real quick on this one, man, because I got a wild take on this, bro. Look, this dude Magomedov, he's not that great, right? But there's a lot of unknowns on Khizriev once again. Maybe I'm just sprinkling round 3 subs all day. I think this Russian is going to fucking get fraud checked by Magomedov of all people. Like, who the fuck did this guy fight in his last fight? Tululin? And it wasn't like he just got to the sub. It wasn't like that impressive to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying his cardio is bad because I really don't know. Like, we haven't seen it in a while. But what if this dude's just fucking fried? Like, honestly, he just got lucky in his last fight and he's fucking fried.
I agree.
And he's gonna be sniffing for the fucking dick. I think Magomedov's gonna catch him with a fucking rear naked choke or a fucking front choke, bro. Round fucking 3 submission. I think this guy's going to be fucking dead. He's going to be taking a ton of damage on the feet. Magomedov's not like a fucking killer. You know what I'm saying? He waits till like round 3 to finish a lot of these people too. And when he fucking hits them, they don't necessarily go out, right? Like, it's like weird. He hits hard, but they don't go out. So like that makes me feel like he's going to just fucking damage Khizriev to the point where this guy's like desperate to get to his fucking leg. And Magomedov's just going to be like, haha, choke you. Done. Over. I'm going with Magomedov, round 3 sub. Sprinkle it again. We're just going round 3 sub here, round 3 sub there. Fucking these fights are super volatile.
Yeah, hit one of them and you're good. You're home free. 2 cents.
Line mover, Bubba, I am rooting for you because I think Magomedov is the side, but I think that his power is might screw you on that one, dude. I think he's gonna fucking knock Kizriev out.
Who has he knocked out, bro? This man didn't finish Brian Barberena.
Dude, I want you to win that. I want you to win that.
I'm just asking. Who's he knocked out?
He knocked out not good fighters. He knocked out Andrew in the UFC. He knocked out Andrew Sanchez and Trevor Smith.
In what round?
He knocked him out both in the third round. You're right about that. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong about the things you said about Murdoch. But who the fuck has Kizriev fought? Period.
Nobody.
Juan Juarez, the fucking Stepino or whatever the fuck his nickname is, him and fucking Dennis Kalulin. They don't hit like Murdoch. I fucking promise you that. He's gonna knock this fucking dude out, man. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping it's a club and sub for you. I'm hoping it's a club and sub late for you because I do like the third round, but it may. I hope you're not getting a little too cute there because I think he's gonna fucking.
Well, just take round
I hope
3
it's a club and sub
and pair it up. You go round 3 decision on FanDuel if you got it, or you go round 3 just straight, and then you take the sprinkle a little round 3 sub, just a sprinkle.
Look at these names. Look at these names. Look at the names that Magomedov has fought. I know. The third round knockouts. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Alessio, GM3, Kaio, Barberena. Kizriev haven't fought nobody like that. So he didn't knock out Barberena, but that's a tough dude that's like been around for a while and like he fucks people up too on the feet. He almost fucking knocked Luque out. So no, I'm sorry. Like I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a club and sub, but I think Mahmoud's knocking this dude out. I got close to betting it myself, but yeah, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen.
Look, here's the thing, though. This guy's a dick sniffer. And when dick sniffers are fucking tired, bro, they only think about shooting takedowns. They don't care. And then they will tap because they're so tired. They're like, bro, stop beating me up, please. Like, just here. Tap, tap, Russian fraud. Tap, tap. Cha-ching, cha-ching. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, all good points, and I'm on Kizriev Island very unconfidently at -148, +124 on Mirodov currently. So I totally understand the Mirodov side in this fight, and I kind of don't understand why I went the side I went with, but it is what it is. Next fight, Viviana Araujo taking on Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva, one of the kind of up-and-coming darlings of the flyweight division, the budgeting flyweight division at this point. I think that she's got a huge speed advantage in this fight. I think that she's got to kind of just, keep this in space. Viviana Araujo is going to try to wrestle, and I think that is a game plan that is not going to be sustainable for Araujo through 3 rounds, frankly. So could be a good live bet spot for Natalia here because I could see Araujo maybe having success in the early rounds, first round particularly with this, if at all. But I think after a while, Natalia starts to frustrate her, kind of just put together, good volume, good variety of strikes. And I think that knockout in round 3 could be very live for Natalia here. So I'll take Natalia round 3 KO. But I get it if some people think Vivian's kind of just going to vet savvier and kind of grind one out here, but I don't think she's got that in her. So 2 cents.
This is another one where it's like my old baby nuts won't drop on it, but like I like Viviana Araujo in this spot, man. I think she's way, way, way more experienced, dude. I know she's old. I know she's slow. I'm not betting her, but I can't pick Natalia Silva. She's only fucking like, look at these fucking names that she's beating. Jasmine, Belita, Victoria Leonardo, Angelique. They cannot
Jasmine.
They cannot strike worth. No, hold on. No, hold on. They cannot strike worth a motherfuck. If Viviana puts hands on this girl, she gonna hurt her. Look, that's how she lost to Marina Rodriguez. She got touched up. I think she's gonna get touched up here. I don't feel confident enough to bet it. But that's gonna be my pick, man. That's gonna be I dude, like Natalia. I'm sorry. She was getting pieced by Andrea Lee. Viviana Araujo hits much harder than Andrea Lee. And I know that because she fucking put hands on Andrea Lee her fucking self. Give me Viviana here.
Wild. Bet it, boy. Drop those nuts. JB.
Yeah, I had a huge bet on Viviana Araujo versus Andrea Lee, and that was a fucking close fight. So I wouldn't say she put hands on her. She took her down. And actually, you know what? I think I'm thinking of the Caitlin Chookagian fight. I've had a fuck ton of money on Araujo before. I won on her with Maya. I won on her, and I'm talking big bets. Chookagian. No, she fought Chookagian and lost. That was in Houston. I remember that, actually. I didn't bet her that fight. But yeah, she fought KGB, and I think I won on her. Yeah, it was KGB because Chookagian fought Hebos that night. 100% is that what it was. Yeah, dude, I think the round 3 is live for Silva. 100%. I'm with you, dude. Like, this bitch is way too quick for her. Way too quick. She's the younger fighter. No way I'm with you on a money line standpoint, 2 cents. There's no way I'm betting Silva in 100 years.
No.
Yeah, bro, but I think we got another crotch sniffer. In this case, it's like a pussy sniffer, I guess. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. We definitely just got demonetized, if anything. But it is what it is. I think she gets subbed, bro. Round 3 sub. I could totally see the knockout. But I like round 3 decision as a FanDuel as well. I think Vivi's going to be desperate to get to the takedown because she's going to be getting picked apart.
Dude, but she didn't get subbed by Grasso. She didn't get subbed by Hebus. It's like she okay.
None of those girls have the effective striking like Natalia Silva.
You think Natalia Silva is a better striker than Grasso? Come on, dude.
I think she's a prospect, brother, 100%.
Okay.
I think you're underestimating her.
I think y'all are overestimating her, but we'll see.
We will see. That's the best part about it.
Yeah, this line, nasty, minus 340 for Natalia. Plus 270 on Araujo. This could be the parlay buster of the week, but round 3 and decision prop on Silva, I would consider that for sure. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next fight here. Randy Brown and Muslim Salikov has been rescheduled and somehow went from like a second prelim on its card to third from the top on a main card. So, whatever. Like, who cares about placement? Who really cares about Randy Brown versus Muslim Salikov? To be honest, this is a spot here where I could definitely see Randy Brown leaving that old chin up in the air and getting an overhand from Muslim, an old man, right hand overhand. And I think that Muslim KO is very, very live in this spot. I wouldn't in a million years trust Randy Brown in this a matchup against a fighter like this. Honestly, I think Muslim's very dangerous. I think this is going to be fought in the range where Muslim can land and hurt Randy. I think Randy's going to get too cute with it and leave his chin out there. So I got Muslim by KO. I had it the first time. I get it that I believe Muslim was out with an injury and that's why it's got rescheduled, but I'm not worried about it. Muslim knockout of Randy Brown. So give me another dog on the card, JB.
Yeah, apparently it was a flu for Randy Brown, but I don't think that's the real reason. I think they made a little, phone call when Randy Brown opened at minus 150 and got ridiculously fucking steamed. I think they said, hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, you have the flu. You're going to fight this guy a little later. Reopen the markets, which I don't like to bet on, but submission plus 375. Like, there's a theme on this card. We got a lot of spinny guys, spinny girls. Silva, McMann, Salikov. What happens? We've seen it, and we were just talking about Grasso. Like, you give up your back and you get the sub. Randy Brown plus 375 sub is what they opened it at. I actually think that's the play here. We've seen it time and time again. Warley Alves, he hit the triangle. He hit the one-arm rear naked choke, which I actually thought was kind of slick. The guy's been talking a little bit about grappling more. Went out to Philly, has been training out there with those guys like Sean Brady and all them guys. I think if you train around those guys, your grappling is going to improve. Salikov is a lot older. I agree from a money line standpoint. Yeah, I wouldn't take Salikov, but we're talking about props here. I think Randy Brown gets his back, gets a submission, chokes him out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this fight? I don't know if we broke this down the first time. I don't think we did.
I don't think we got a chance to, dude, but I'm glad we got to talk about it again because I am with you on this one. I think Muslim Salikov is going to chin check Randy Brown. Randy Brown, you look at a lot of these fights, he loves backing up to the fucking fence. And I think Muslim is going to uncork something nasty on him when he does that. He might even fucking set a trap for him and hit him with a fucking, it would not shock me at all if he hit him with a fucking spinning hook kick. Or spinning wheel. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be like an overhand. I think he's going to fucking no-look left hook him. But yeah, give me Salikov by knockout, and I bet it. Got a core unit at plus 200. Little stat. Yep. Like, it's not my most confident pick. Like, he is older. Randy Brown is a good boxer. We know what Randy Brown has. He has the physical attributes. I do agree with JB that he is a submission threat. But on the feet, man, Randy Brown likes to get cute and try and be Floyd. And he is not fucking Floyd Mayweather, and he has a dodgy fucking chin. And when he goes down, it's bad. And I think Muslim's gonna knock him out. But this is a good fight, man. This is one of the better fights on the card. Like, it's not high level, but I think it's a fun action fight. And these are both like fun action fighters.
Yeah, I love this line for Muslim plus 220, minus 270 on Randy Brown.
Dude, when the line moves after I bet it, that's usually a good sign. Traditionally, and for some reason I can't fucking like some of these lines, and then good things happen. So we'll see.
No, I agree. I've seen it time and time again now. All right, we're on to co-main event. This is the right fight to make for these two, I guess. I don't know. Lightweights, Renato Moicano, Drew Dober, whatever you want to call him. I really think that Drew Dober can put the striking on Moicano, put him under pressure, crack him, and put him away. I really do think Dober has that level of striking. I think very clearly at one point the idea with Dober was just grapple him, get him down, and submit him. He's been submitted by very good level of competition. Moicano certainly has that level of jiu-jitsu, I think, where he could. I think he can make it look rather easy. But if this turns into a war on the feet, I think Dober ends up breaking Moicano. So I see both sides of this one. But I don't know. I got a feeling Dober ends up putting it on Moicano, getting a stoppage in round 2, I would say. I could see round 3 too, because round 3 pays better. No, I think Dober ends up avoiding the ground in this fight, turns into a war on the feet, and ends up breaking Renato Moicano. But good fight. Both these guys mid-30s now at lightweight, so we might have seen the best of both these guys behind them, but I still think that Dober has a kind of the power and the striking that I think bothers Moicano time and time again. So JB,
I want your fucking money, Moicano. I want the money. I gotta go with the money Moicano here, and let me tell you why. I think he has a grappling upside here, and I think he could avoid the knockout of Dober, because I've seen in the last few fights Dober significantly slowed down, in my opinion. I just really think he's nearing the end. I think he's taken a lot of damage over his career, and that's what's forcing him to slow down such tremendously in these fights. I think he got kind of lucky. I don't want to say lucky, but he got kind of lucky against Bobby Green. Green was kind of whooping his ass until he timed that. And man, I think he has grappling upside here in Moicano. Everybody on the sub, though, I actually like the decision. I don't think he knocks out Dober. Dude's tough as nails, but I think he has grappling upside. And everybody thinks this fight's gonna not go the distance. It's Moicano sub or Dober KO. That's literally the square narrative this whole week. I gotta go with Moicano decision here. And like somebody in the comments said, the line getting steamed the other way, and it seems like everybody's on Dober. That does not necessarily mean that Dober is gonna lose. I still think he could be a live underdog here. But I do think Moicano decision at plus 400 is pretty telling.
If you had all dogs on this card, I would understand. 2 cents.
So let's make it 2 in a row, dude. I'm gonna sandwich this here, and I made my first 3 bets for this card. I made them all last Sunday, and this was one of them. Dober was plus 115. It's a 50-50 to me, man. Like, I don't know. I think this is finishing. I think this is good. I know it's square, but it's square for a reason because, like, it's so fucking obvious. Like, if it's a snake, it already done fucking bit you. Like, Moicano has such a fucking grappling upside. If he gets on top of Dober, Drew's getting fucking choked. I firmly
Yeah, but didn't Islam like take to the 3rd round or something? You don't think like he's a fish? Like,
I think Moicano is like just a little bit more dangerous with like finding the submission, honestly. Like,
wow. That I mean, go Gail, talk your talk, but wow, that's a statement right there.
I mean, dude, you think I know, dude? Obviously, you could disagree because you're getting greasy with the decision.
We're just talking about Islam.
You're just taking the fucking contrarian play, but like that's fine. Like, listen, all right, this is how I feel about it. It's super duper 50-50. I think Moicano will choke him, and because I think that yes, Dober, you just said it. Dober's been slowing down. He's been taking damage. If Moicano starts teeing off him with ground and pound, it will soften Drew up, and he's gonna fucking. If he takes his back, he's gonna fucking choke him. He's gonna rear naked choke him. But on the feet, I gotta push back with my dude Aaron. I'm on Dober, but it ain't gonna be no fucking war because Moicano has an off switch. He is not the dude that can get into a war with Drew Dober. Bobby Green is fucking tough. Some of the dudes that have gone to war with Dober are fucking tough. Moicano is a skilled fighter. He's got a lot of heart, but he ain't fucking tough, dude. Not when you crack that chin. Dober hits too hard. And, I think it's either going to be Drew getting choked or Moicano getting knocked out. And, yeah, give me the slide dog. Drew Dober, plus 115. Let's go.
Yep, and no one moves the line the other way like 2 cents because it's at plus 154 currently.
That's fair. And we see it time and time again. The line moves the other way, and the person still wins. So it doesn't mean shit.
No, it doesn't. Minus 185 to Moicano.
Let me clear too. I don't think that Moicano is better than fucking his. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I think at this stage, like, if he's softening Drew up, man, I just don't see it. I think Drew will give it up, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. And I never mean it as like a personal attack. Obviously, I just like to ask questions about the fights because I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying, and I think we all get better and sharper, bro. Honestly, at the end of the day, is talking about these fights, going through each option, and bro, I could totally see a world where Drew Dober fucking puts this man out. He's coming off knee surgery, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yes, sir. All right, we're on to the main event. Middleweights, Roman Dolidze, Nassourdine Imavov. Yeah. So I have been on the Dolidze side since the fight was announced. And at this point, I'm not really too shaken off of it. I do think that, as this fight gets into the later rounds, neither one of these guys, I think I'm feeling super confident in 5 rounds, but especially I'm unsure of Dolidze in 5 rounds. So that is one of the things I'm kind of, trepidatious about. I'm kind of trepidatious about taking Roman Dolidze just because I don't know about how he's going to respond to that at 34 years old. And kind of showing some gas issues in just 3-round fights. But I think he's much more skilled in the grappling department. I think we could see, we could see a submission here again. I think this is a pretty submission-heavy card, honestly, with the potential, as JB was kind of pointing out earlier. But I think on the feet, he can also get to Imavov. I just don't trust Imavov. I could totally see Imavov electric sliding his way to a decision victory also, and really just kind of in a frustrating performance, but being effective. But I think that, Dolidze also can, he's been shown he can run into a knockout as well. He's got great power on the feet. So, there is a finishing upside on both sides for Dolidze. And I think in 5 rounds, either fighter could kind of gas out a decision depending on how they look at in rounds 4 and 5, because neither guy's really proven in that. So plus 140 on Dolidze works for me. So I got Dolidze to round out the card. I just think he's the better fighter. And I like to pick the better fighters in fights. So you can quote me on that. JB.
I like it, man. I think Dolidze might be on steroids too, low-key. He's 35 years old, but the dude doesn't look like he's like aging at all. He looked really good in his last performance against Vettori, who I don't think is like the best. I think Vettori could be a little overrated at sometimes. He's a top 10 fighter at the end of the day at middleweight, and Imavov had his ups and downs. He fought. That was the fight where he was outweighed by 205, and Strickland was able to put this guy on his back. I think Imavov is going to get submitted in this fight, brother. And I think he's going to get – I actually think I could guess you the method. I think it's going to be via heel hook. I think this guy, Roman Dolidze, is extra dangerous with his leg locks. It's a form in MMA where they're not necessarily seeing – yeah, in the Trevin Giles fight, he gave up position. Here's the thing with these things. If you go for them and you don't give up position, it's not a big deal. And I think Roman Dolidze is starting to understand that now. Not on top of that, dude, he broke fucking Phil Hall's leg, bro. He broke Phil Hall's leg and then knocked him out.
Yes.
Like, he fucking is dangerous on the mat. That calf slicer, bro, who does that to Jack Hermanson? Had him fucking helpless, dog. In the alley, that dude's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Ain't no ref fucking dude. That shit was fucking nasty. And I do agree, like, Dolidze's a little bit on an upswing, but dog odds are tempting here, and I think he fucking snaps this fucking dude's leg, man. Somebody was saying, like, I think it was I forget who it was, honestly. But they were saying Imavov, training with the Fight Factory guys could defend the heel hook. You see Rogan, guys going for heel hooks out there. I think Dolidze is fucking 10 times more advanced than any fucking buddy they're training with. And I think the second he gets on this guy's fucking leg, he's going to break it, my brother. And that's my prediction on this fight.
I like it. I know I'm not. I know that where 2 cents is going with this, but 2 cents, where you end this fight,
boys? This is just a great spot to end it, and let's make it 3 dogs in a row, man. Let's complete this unholy trinity here. And I love the points that both of y'all made. And let me just add that, yes, I do think that Roman is the more dangerous striker. He is the much more dangerous grappler. Yes, he's older, but dude, Imavov fucking slows down too. And I actually would not. I'm not betting it. I'm already on Roman money line. I've got a unit on Roman. I bet a half unit on him at plus 135. I bet a quarter unit when it dropped to plus 130, and then I just put another quarter unit at plus 140. It's now moved up or down or whatever you want to say to plus 140. So. Yeah, dude, I'm going like he's the dog that I like the most. And yeah, I think he's a more dangerous fighter. And to my point about the decision, like the reason why I think he can make it and why his gas might not necessarily be a problem, Imavov is a fucking point fighter, dude. If he's just electric sliding, Roman's not gonna have to worry about that. It's not a pressure that's gonna break him. Outside of the Strickland fight, he's never hung more than 100 strikes on anybody. He's not really a high volume striker for being a dude that, boys, I come from a point fighting background. Your boy loves a good point fight, but like that is not the kind of fight I don't think he can win against Roman. Like if he's pressing forward, trying to put a pace on him, he's going to get fucking chinned. Like I can see the exchanges in this fight being a lot of like intercepting car crash kind of like moments. And I think Roman's going to get the better of those. I think he can win a decision, winning moments. And, dude, like, I agree with JB, man. If he gets to a certain spot or if he gets a hold of Imavov's leg, he's going to be in fucking trouble. Like, Hermanson, I really respect Jack Hermanson's grappling. And what Roman did to him, that was really an eye-opener for me. And, like, it just doesn't feel like Roman should be the dog, dude. I'm just sticking to my script, man. Like, I see a line that looks off, a dog that shouldn't be a dog. Dude, that's what I did with fucking Magny. It's what I did the week before that, too. So let's make it 2 winning weeks in a row. I don't think Roman should be the dog, period. I think he's much more dangerous. Look at the Haas fights. Like, didn't Haas buzz fucking Imavov, too? Like, am I imagining that? Am I thinking of another fight? Am I thinking of Buckley? I don't know, man. But
Imavov lost to Phil Haas. That is correct.
Yeah, like, so, man, if he's going to try and press forward on Roman, I think he's getting knocked out. If he tries to electric slide, I think Roman can win the moments. I don't know, man. I like Roman here as a dog a lot. So let's fucking go, boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're ending on the plus 140, minus 166 on Nassourdine Imavov. Any thoughts overall on the card before we sign off? Real quick, I will also go through the Zhang Li that we have for this week, which it does include two of the favorites, and then we'll just do our final thoughts. So I got Garimbo in the Zhang Li. I know. I got Charles Johnson in the Zhang Li and Molly McCann. So those 3 fights in a row will determine an early part of the Zhang Li. Then we're moving on to plus 220. Muslim Salikov joined the Zhang Li, and we're ending on Roman Dolidze in the main event at plus 140. Gives you a plus 4,000 or so.
Lord have mercy.
Plus 4,009. So throw a little change on it with us if you want. Any thoughts, JB, before we take off?
And once again, I appreciate you having me, man. I'm going to cook up a little parlay myself. I'm trying to get the odds here, but we got 2 that we agreed on. And here's the thing, man. I like, I'm a grappler, so purple belt in jiu-jitsu, nothing special, but I understand like the grappler's mindset in MMA, and I think some of these submission props is where we'll be able to take advantage on these cards. I don't want to just go spraying them all over the place, but there was a few that me and you agreed on, Aaron. There was a few of them, so I'm gonna parlay these 2 up. We got Themba Garimbo round 2 sub. What we got there? Round 2 sub is plus 500 on Bet Online. We're gonna get a better line. That's probably be around plus 650, but we'll just track it at plus 500. I mean, that's a little ridiculous, right? They're telling you what's up there. Yep. All right. Yeah. So then on top of that, we got McCann sub. That's plus 650. Sure, you'll get a better line than that. Just look for it out there when it comes. We're getting plus 4,400. We're gonna add Charles Johnson, baby. That's the other one that we agreed on. Plus 185. Bang, bang, biggity, bang. That's plus 12,725. I like to give each viewer something that if they were just go to a sports book, have like $5 fucking, they could possibly win something. So
that's good.
We agreed on those 3. Let's fucking go.
Love it. Good having you on, and we'll have you on in the future for sure. You know that.
My God.
2 cents. Any final thoughts on this Apex of Apex cards?
Well, you said it, dude. This is the zenith of mixed martial arts as we know it, gentlemen. But first and foremost, thank you very much as always for having me. This is always a blast. MMA line mover, the artist formerly known as JB. Dude, it was great to be on stream with you again. Best of luck to you. So yeah, man, I like my plays for this card right now as it stands are and like I said, I made all these last Sunday. So some of the lines have moved, but it's Dober plus 115, Muslim Salikov at plus 200, and then now at this point I got a unit on Roman. But yeah, man, shout out to both you guys. Best of luck. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I will be on the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast. So shout out to the boys at Pub. That episode will drop tomorrow, so y'all can download that anywhere. And then I will be back on my channel Friday to do the weigh-ins again. So it'll be a normal time, like probably like 11:30 or something. But y'all can check me out there. But Aaron, dude, thanks again. JB, line mover. Best of luck to you, my dude, and everyone in the chat too, man. Smash the like button for Aaron, and y'all have a good one, boys. Thanks again.
Yep. Appreciate you guys both. Thank you both for being here, and thank everybody in the chat. Got up to a solid number again, so thanks everybody rocking with the new time here in the evening. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace out for MMA line mover. Just my 2 cents. And the dog. We out. Peace.